Hey guys, how's it going? It's been quite a long time since I've actually made a video. I think like a week and a half. And well, first things first, I want to apologize for that. Really, the thing that's been going on is I just really haven't had the motivation to do anything, and there hasn't really been a lot going on. So, I mean, I put up that Titanfall video because just to sort of fill something in, and just there hasn't been much of anything going on. I mean, I just been playing like some old games and kind of hanging out, and been reading comments on some videos, and it's just. I mean, it's been like a really boring time. So, I mean, I'm sorry that you guys had to wait this long for me to actually do a video, and it's been pretty boring. But I just a boring time of year. Really, April's the slowest month it's been in all of 2014. At least in January, I was working on the Game of the Year awards, or the Video Game Awards, excuse me, and we had Tomb Raider at the end for those who wanted to buy it again. And in February, at least, we had the Titanfall beta during the middle of the month, so we had some filler stuff there. In April, there's just been nothing. There hasn't been anything. It would have been nice if Daylight came out on April 8th, like it was supposed to originally, and instead of getting delayed to now next Tuesday. So, yeah, just quick apology there, sorry. But I wanted to sort of make this video. This is something I wanted to sort of talk about for quite some time now. And, I'm getting to that point where, text here, I'm getting to that point where I am basically gonna have to decide what it is I want to, study in college. Right now, I am in college, but I am just doing general ed stuff. I haven't really started working on my major yet, but really, really soon I will be. And I'm at that point now where I have to decide, okay, this is something I want to definitively study, and it's kind of like a lot's going through my mind of exactly what I want to do. Now, we're not going to be talking about different topics and stuff of what I do want to do. Instead, we're going to be analyzing something that is something that I guess what people would expect me to do, and that is develop video games. I mean, people see this YouTube channel, and they're all like, "Oh yeah, he's gonna do you want to develop games? You're probably gonna want to develop games when you're older." And it's like, eh, I'm not saying that in the sense of I don't have a creative mind for them. I'm saying it because I'm nervous of taking something that I love, like a hobby of mine, and sort of possibly destroying it and making it more of a hassle. And it is a job. It is a job developing games, and some people really enjoy it. Some people really love it. Other people, they just like to play games and they don't really want to develop games. So I'm kind of going back and forth here, and I want to talk about that in this video. Is what um, what I can bring really to the industry, what I would want to work on, and just some general thoughts all surrounding game development and working in that field. So, but first, I just want to give a quick channel update about stuff that's coming up. All right, there's gonna be some changes with the unboxings coming up next week. All right, we have two releases. We have the Amazing Spider-Man 2, and we also have Daylight. Now, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 right now is pre-ordered on the PS4. My plan was to go to GameStop, pick up the game, get it, go home, do an unboxing. Um, I I decided that it's a smart decision to do this, but I decided that I will be purchasing The Amazing Spider-Man on PC. Unfortunately, I have to get it digital. They're not making a retail version of the game on PC. But the reason of me doing this is because I'm still trying to basically recuperate myself financially. I'm 19 years old, all right, and I have a job, and I, worked hard in order to pay and get both of these consoles on release. All right, I spent it was probably a good $1,300 when it all came down to it, just getting the consoles, the taxes on top of that, getting the games for the consoles, and it was just, a lot of money went into making sure that I could have both the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One on their release. And I started saving for the PS4 in April of 2013, and I basically was able to pay it off completely come the end of June, I think beginning of July. And I thought that I may be able to. I had this. I wasn't really planning to buy the Xbox One on release, but I thought to myself, maybe if I do some math and I see, okay, what can I afford to do, I may be able to get the Xbox One on release. And that's what I did. I did some calculations and stuff, did some estimates, and when it all came down to it, I realized that, hey, I could basically, if all goes according to plan, I could get the Xbox One and pay it off completely by the end of August. And I cut a lot of corners in order to do that. I cut into, a little bit of my savings in order to kind of boost my way into that door and make sure I could get the Xbox One pre-ordered and stuff like that. And it was it's something that I'm glad I can bring you guys content from for these new consoles on their release. That's something that I really do want to do and I really like doing. Um, at the same time, though, it really kind of hurt me financially because ever since I bought these consoles, I haven't been at a very stable point. There's been dips, and I've had money, and I kind of lost money. You get expenses and stuff you have to pay for, whether it's gas in your car, games on release, and some supplies and school supplies and stuff like that. Maybe ink for the printer. There's all these different expenses that you know I had after that, and I just haven't really been the same financially ever since I bought those two consoles. Um, I'm still able to get games on release. Just note that I'm doing it not really in good conscience. Obviously, I want to bring you guys game content from these games on the release. It's one thing. I don't want to miss Wolfenstein New Order and then make a video about it 2 or 3 weeks later. It's one thing if it's a next gen PS4 Xbox One port from a last gen game like Metro, Tomb Raider, or the upcoming Last of Us. It's one thing if it's that. It's another thing if it's a big release that everyone's excited for. And maybe if it's a niche release that people really aren't really too sure about, but they just want to see gameplay. In that case, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which is coming up at the end of this month, next week. So I have decided that, okay, the intelligent decision here is to get it on the PC where I know I can play the game max at 1080p and get a pretty decent good 60 frames per second, most likely. And at the same time, I'm getting a better experience and I'm spending less money. So I just pre-ordered The Amazing Spider-Man 2 on PC digitally. I only spent like $26 for it. So it's $26 versus $60. What's the smart decision here? It's like at the same time, it's also I also have to buy Daylight. I'm getting Daylight on release. That's $15. I don't know if Sony's gonna do like a cool thing where they like Steam's doing right now for Daylight. If you pre-order Daylight, it's $10. It's $5 off of its price tag. I don't know if Sony's gonna do the same thing. They probably won't, but I do want to get that on the PS4. Because it's supposed to be 1080p and 60 frames per second, and it's built on the new Unreal Engine 4, which I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to run Daylight max settings. It's going to take some pretty good resources with the... I think... Isn't Daylight like one of the first Unreal Engine 4 games? I believe it is, because that engine is really pretty new. So, anyway, I am getting that on the PlayStation 4. Alright, whenever it's up for pre-order, I'll get it. And, thanks to you guys, I have some money left over from, you guys watching the videos, helping me out. That's allowed me to, purchase some of these games and not have it be such a detriment on my wallet. So I really appreciate the viewership and everything around that. So that's really what's going on in that area. So there's going to be no unboxing next week, unfortunately. I'm sorry, I have to purchase Daylight, I have to get The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and at the same time, it's my mom's birthday on the 1st, and I have to go get a gift. So I have all these different things I have to purchase kind of at once, and I'm trying to really, you know, I'm trying to do it in a very financially responsible way. And to be honest, I mean, I did digital for Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2. I'm just gonna get the game where I can best get the best experience on whatever platform that I can. If it doesn't matter if it's the Xbox One, doesn't matter if it's the PS4, doesn't matter if it's the PC. More so, it's gonna be less of the PC just because I have an upgraded graphics card in this thing. But The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is not even an intense, graphically intense game. It's just one of those movie tie-in games, and I don't know. I'm very, very kind of torn on the game because it looks. I really enjoyed the first Amazing Spider-Man game, but this one just doesn't look as good. I mean, I just don't know. I could be completely wrong. I could be, absolutely right. I guess we'll see when the game comes out next week, but. Just letting you guys know that is a situation that's going to happen on Tuesday. You will still see gameplay for The Amazing Spider-Man 2, the first 30 minutes. You're still going to see that. And Daylight. I'm contemplating whether or not I should do a playthrough of Daylight. If I do stream it on Twitch, it's going to be hard for me to stream it on Twitch and also, record it for YouTube. That's going to be difficult for me. So what I'm thinking I could do, I guess, is record it and maybe I mean I don't know. I don't know if you guys want like a full playthrough here on YouTube or I should just stream it. It would be easier to stream it because then I don't have to upload it, but at the same time it's going to miss a wider audience, which is you guys. So I'm still kind of going over that. We will see. Now moving on to the main topic of the video. All right, it's 12 minutes of me talking just BS. Game development. All right. Now, what I am most nervous of surrounding this topic, all right, is the fact that I have a very ambitious mindset, and what I don't want to do is I don't want to sit here and program for 10 years before I get to a creative director position where I can start doing my own kind of thing. I have talked with someone who's a fan of mine. Who was a programmer. And he gave me some cool little insight on what the how different the job becomes from just being a programmer, and then you move into management pretty soon. And he said he assured me that it's probably not going to take 10 years. I just put 10 years out there hypothetically, but that's what I'm most nervous of. I have this really ambitious mindset. I know exactly the type of games I want to make. It's a variety of games, different game types. They're games with, you guys know me. You guys know the type of games I like to play. I want to create a game that has a great, rich, emotional, character-driven story using technology that's advanced and that constantly pushes the limits of the hardware, and at the same time offers a variety of very fun gameplay that isn't based really on old experiences, but rather enhanced experiences from maybe older stuff out there, and some new ones, of course. I have ideas. I know exactly every single game that I would like to develop. I have in my head. All right, you got a trilogy of a third-person action-adventure trilogy. You got a stealth action futuristic RPG. You got an open-world racing game, and you have a mafia mob-style game. And you have this very interesting game, the last game I would probably develop, and the reason the fact that I would be developing it last actually has a purpose, because it's one that would really change the industry when it would move it into a new direction. The problem with if I just made the game now, the world isn't ready for it yet. It requires the world, the gamers, the game industry to really mature in order for it to kind of be accepted, sort of. It's very hard for me to sort of discuss it because it's on a personal note, but it's something that something that's just quite extraordinary, really, for video games. And like I said, be combining different aspects of a variety of gameplay. So I have these great ideas, and I want to, I want to develop them and everything like that. It's just that in order to get to that point where you start running the studio and you start running the games, and then the point where you actually get creative control over what you do. That's another huge thing as well. You have people, who don't even have, a lot of these studios don't even have creative control over their games. They're just handed a project. They say, no, we like. You think you really? It's like Call of Duty. Activision tells Treyarch, tells Infinity Ward, make Call of Duty. It's not like they do it willingly. Of course, it's their job. But if they were on their own to develop their new ideas, they would probably branch out more. And Call of Duty would be a very different game than it is today if they were allowed to do that. But a lot of people just don't have creative control. Naughty Dog is one of the few studios who has complete creative control over whatever games they wanted to do. That's why Sony's willing to support The Last of Us, which wasn't Uncharted, was something new, something different, but it was something that was critically received very well. So it was kind of the same thing with Beyond Two Souls, where it's similar to Heavy Rain in the sense of it being a very cinematic game, but it's the type of game it really is. It's a new experience, and you really have to pitch the idea correctly and really get people who are open-minded enough to give you the chance to develop something along those lines. And that's just what I'm most nervous about. I don't want to just work on a game. I want to create the game. I want to lead the visual mindset for what it's going to be, and the whole product in the end is of sort of my thought process. It's very kind of greedy, where it's like, oh, I want control and no one else counts. Obviously, it doesn't work that way, but together as a team, as a development team, when we're working and we can get different ideas from different people, and some ideas can be implemented, some ideas of mine maybe have left, and we have a cool discussion where we're just figuring out, okay, what works and what doesn't. That's what I want to do. If I were to go into game development and one of you guys were to ask me, all right, which studio are you gonna go develop games for? Probably Naughty Dog, and the reason is they're about 20 or 30 minutes away from my house. So I mean, they're right there. They're right there. It's a AAA development studio, and a lot of people left. So there's positions that probably opened up. So it's honestly, that's probably where, if I had to work at a specific studio, that's probably where I would go, because it's right there at my house, and they share the same vision, at least their games, where it's a emotional storyline, where they're able to branch out and do stuff that's different. This is another issue as well, is I don't want to just make games that are in one particular genre. That's what you typically get. Even Naughty Dog with The Last of Us, they're all third-person games. You haven't seen them made a first-person game. You made them that kart racer, that Jack and Dexter kart racer, whatever that thing was. I never played that, but I guess that kind of counts as branching out. But a couple of the visionary developers out there, Cliff Bleszinski, he just did Gears of War. And Gears of War is Gears of War. It's a third-person cover-based shooter. It's a great game, even Ken Levine just did the Bioshock and System Shock and 2, but they're all first-person games, Cliff Bleszinski did something else, but I'm just speaking out loud. But they're all sort of in their genre. You're not going to see, it's not like Cliff Bleszinski developed Gears of War, then he went on to develop Grand Theft Auto, then he went on to develop Forza. It's not like he went from here to here to here, different genres, and the same team developing all these different games. And that's sort of what I want to do. I don't want to just develop a third-person shooter. I want to develop a third-person shooter, but I want to develop more than that. I want to also do a first-person futuristic stealth action RPG. I want to do an open-world racing game. That's the spiritual successor to, one of my favorite games of the last generation is, it's kind of like a niche title, and that is Test Drive Unlimited, the series. I loved I love that game for its idea of that driving game can be more than just you driving around and racing. You can have your apartment, have your cars, you can share it with your friends. That was such a great idea, but the development closed. The Atari closed down that studio, and there's basically no test drive unlimited games anymore. I would love to make the spiritual successor to that, because you know test drive unlimited with the right development team, with the right focus, and leading, I could really that game could really be something amazing. When I was playing Test Drive Unlimited 2, I was saying if Test Drive Unlimited 2 had the driving and graphics of something like Forza, the quality level of a Forza game, this game would be outstanding. But it didn't have that. And that's sort of what I want to do. Um, that mafia style mob game. This is a really interesting. I like this idea a lot because it's an open world game, but it's this really cool idea where the character evolves with the world. The world also evolves and changes over time. I would love to give you guys I'd love to make a 40-minute video here and just talk about one of these games, but the problem is they're ideas. They're not copyrighted or trademarked or anything like that. They're just ideas. It's not like someone can take the ideas and do their own stuff, because what I just have is an idea. I'm not going for it at the moment. I would like to, but it's not something that's in the process. So if someone can see this video, come up with like the same concept, slightly different, and make a game off that, and that's my idea. So it's I would love to talk about it, but I just really can't. But the ambition of that game and how the world changes, and how this story and the character that you play as changes all over time. It's a quite cool game, and yeah, it's an open world game similar to Grand Theft Auto, um, but it's not sort of, it's more on a serious note, more on a serious tone, and something that really allows the world gets kind of bigger, and there's more to explore and more to enjoy as you progress through the game. And then the last game, Extraordinary, is really just it's just something just crazy. It's a much more cinematic game. And I don't mean to hype it up, a lot, because it's nothing that is it's nothing that is amazing. But it's a game which deals with controversial issues, extremely controversial issues, and you basically go through this person's life, and like I said, it's on a more kind of personal note. So it's something that it's extremely emotional. The vision for it is extremely emotional, but there's so much more substance there than what I can convey to you guys just in this video. So that's basically what I want to do. I already have the ideas of everything I want to develop, and it's just having the means to develop them. I don't want to have to sit here and wait, like I said, another 10 years, hypothetically, just to develop one of these games. And, to have my own studio where I'm able to do something that I want to do. It costs a lot of money as well. You need budgets and from these publishers, and sometimes these publishers aren't so willing to give you the benefit of the doubt. And that's another thing. Like, you can have this great idea like I have, and, it can be, oh, that's really fantastic, but it's just an idea. And when you pitch it to EA, Ubisoft, or any one of these big time publishers, and you say, hey, I need funding for this. I need funding so I can make this vision. Will you help me make my vision? And they're like, you know what? I just don't think there's a place in the industry for that. And that's what I think I'm nervous about the most as well. It's just being turned down and being told, yeah, we're not gonna do anything to help you there. It happens. Whatever happens, happens. But I just wanted to sort of talk about that and really get that out there as, I don't know. And this is the stuff I'm kind of going through in my head, that, okay, if I go the game development route and I want to do this and I do develop games, well, I hate it. And will I, or will I turn out I really love it, but I won't have the time to play, other games out there. Game developers work a long time. There's people who get up, go to work at 8 a.m. and don't get off till like 7 p.m. It's like they're working a long time to meet deadlines, and some of them that some of them they can't even ask for a delay. So it's just something that I wanted to discuss a little bit with you guys. Something I just wanted to put out there and hopefully get your opinion on what you guys think. What is something that is game development something that you guys would find yourselves enjoying? Um what do you I mean I just don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think I should do? It's like I'm really kind of torn here, and talking with some people, it's great. I have this fan base here, and yes, it's still small, it's still growing, but nonetheless, it's a fan base, and people care about me. People care about what I think. That's why you guys should subscribe. That's why you guys are watching my content, is because you want to see the content that I produce. You want to be entertained, yes, but there's topics and stuff I like to discuss, and it kind of brings this conversation in. We can have sort of a really cool debate about that, and it's just a really cool thing. I think especially coming from the YouTube scene like I am now, I would have this direct line of communication with you guys where, if I was, let's say just I'm at the top. I have my own studio. I'm able to make the games I want to make, but I still have YouTube here, and I can still talk with you guys. I can still put up a video. You guys can submit questions, and I can answer you guys more specifically, um, uh, more correctly rather, because I'm part of the industry. I can give you guys some insight on what's really going on. Call people on their bullshit, and say no, it's not really like that. So, and there's a lot of things surrounding the gaming industry that I would just like to bring. It's just the fact that, okay, am I positive that this is the direction I want to go in? Because once I start running, I don't want to stop, and I don't want to turn around and say, oh no, I didn't mean to go this way. I don't want to kind of second guess myself. So I don't know. I wanted to sort of discuss that with you guys and sort of get your feedback and opinions. So let me know, I guess. There will be a channel update coming near the 1st of May, the beginning of May. Oh, really quickly, I applied to E3 officially. I sent emails out to Ubisoft, Sony, Microsoft, and EA for their press conferences. I haven't gotten back a single email from all except one of them. Alright? Or actually, no. I said that wrong. I only got an email back from one of them. Alright? The other three I haven't. Ubisoft sent me an email back. They said, our press conference is full, but we'll put you on a list, and if a spot opens up, they'll get back to me. Alright? And if a spot doesn't open up, they'll still get back to me. So this is actually good news. And yes, I'm not technically going. I don't know if I'm really going yet, but my chances are really low of going to the Ubisoft press conferences. But it's good news because they count what I do here as a form of media. Like the fact that I can ask them and they can say, yeah, we'll put you on a list. I mean, that's basically them confirming that, yes, you could go if we had space available, which is awesome. These are invite-only events. I kind of put myself out there, and I went to the Microsoft one last year, and I really loved going there. It was such a great experience. It was really loud, and it was a really unforgettable experience, and I would love to do that for all the big companies. It's just getting my foot in the door, and we'll see. I'm still waiting on EA, I'm still waiting on Microsoft, and I'm still waiting on Sony. I will go ahead, and if I don't hear anything back from them by the middle of May, I will send them another email, sort of a follow-up email. Did you get my email? I would really like to do this. Do you think I could come in and cover the press conferences? So we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. Also, I officially applied for E3, the actual main event where you go there. I sent the guys over, the help guys, whatever the help desk is at E3, sent them an email, and I said, is what I do here on YouTube, is what I do here on YouTube and Twitter and stuff, is that considered part of the media. And the guy replied to me rather quickly, and he said that we evaluate all applicants individually, and in some instances, you are eligible, or some may find YouTube eligible as a form of media, which would be awesome. So I signed myself up. I signed my two, best friends up, and they're sort of like my assistants, really. They do assist me sometimes in doing videos and stuff like that. I was not gonna just end the sentence like that, but they do help me with making videos and such. They've been present in the unboxings. They were present last year at the Microsoft press conference, and they've been present enough in my videos to basically warrant them helping me. But I sent them an email, and they're supposed to get back to me anywhere in 2 weeks. But as soon as I hear something, I'll tweet about it, and then I'll make a video about it. So it's going to be pretty cool. Anyway, guys, that is it. I hope you guys have a great day. Let me know what you think about the whole... I'm just checking my emails just to make sure. Okay. I just want to make sure that I ended this video and also suddenly got an email from E3 now. But I hope you guys have a good day. Sorry for the lack of content. I'll try to put some more stuff up. It's just kind of hard. I had to get motivated to do the video, and I don't. It's one thing if I just make the video. I'm like, yeah, so game development. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna want to do that. So it's just I want to be able to get into it. I want to be able to have and talk elegantly so that you can be more of a interesting vlog rather than one where I'm not even interested in doing it in the first place. So I'll let you guys know what happens next week. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 first impressions, first 30 minutes, and also Daylight playthrough or stream. I'm not going to do both. Both is way too hard. It's going to take a lot of my time. Playthrough or stream. I don't even know how long Daylight is. I hope it's not like a 6-8 hour game to play through that. I mean, that's gonna take a long time. But I hope it is. If it's around 4 to 6 hours, that would be nice. I mean, I want a nice experience. Outlast was pretty short, but that would work actually pretty well as a playthrough. But let me know, guys. All right, I'll talk to you later. Have a good day.